Okay, so yesterday, guys, we were talking about what we're going to be doing with these climatograms. So just a quick review here. Okay, we're trying to figure out which factors affect the climate of Canadian cities. Okay, that's what needs to be in our hypothesis. Okay, in the if part, we can talk about what climate is. Okay, and what factors we think will affect it. And then in the and part, we're obviously comparing the climatograms of various Canadian cities as well as their geographies. Okay, and then in the then part, tell me what patterns you think you're going to see. Then you're going to build your climatograms, which I'm going to show you how to do in just a minute here. Okay, you're going to do that in Google Sheets. It's actually really, really easy. But a quick note here: we do have a few people who were here yesterday who were not here today. Okay, if they were in your group, you may need to do a few more climatograms. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get this done today. Okay, so if you had someone who is in your group who's not here today, honestly, it's not going to take you that long to do like 2 or 3 more climatograms. On Google Sheets, it goes way faster. Okay, used to take me by hand to do a climatogram, yeah, probably 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, to get one done by hand, and that's going pretty fast. On Google Sheets, you can easily have one done in 2 or 3. Okay, so that part of the really time-consuming part of this activity is now going to take virtually no time at all. Okay, but today, what I'm hoping is you will have all your climatograms done, and you will be well into grouping them. Okay, based on what they look like, and actually maybe even looking at the atlases to start thinking about, okay, where are these things located, and what factors are going to be affecting those cities based on their locations. Okay, everybody with me on that? All right. So to do this in Google Sheets. Okay, so you just open up a spreadsheet in Google Sheets, and I just made one up. I still have the graph here. I'll move it. All right, so you just enter in your data, and it's got to be entered in this order. Okay, you're going to have the months here in the first column, and then you're going to have precipitation and then temperature. It does have to go in that order. Otherwise, it makes temperature the bars and precipitation the line, which is backwards. Okay, on a climatogram, we want the bars to be the precipitation and the line to be the temperature. So you have to do it in this order so that the computer will do it that way for you. Everybody follow me there? Okay, so you're going to be using your precipitation numbers and your average temperature numbers here. All right, so I just entered in some fake numbers. All right, and then I'll go to Insert, and Chart just like we've always done, except now we're not going to pick the same kind of chart we picked before. So you're going to go to Charts, and you're going to take the line graph. Okay, up here at the top you'll see line, and you'll want this one here called Combo Chart, because it'll put a line as well as bars, and it'll graph different trends to each one. So in other words, it'll make your precipitation the bar and your temperature the line. Okay, so I click on that, and it shows me, here it is. Okay, there's my chart, and then obviously we've got to label all of that. Okay, so in chart title, you would label it, whoops, wrong computer. You would label it with whatever the city was. In this case, Lego City. Okay, and then down below here, your horizontal axis title can really just be months because that's what's down there. And then the left axis is showing 2 things. Okay, so it shows you the series here. Okay, and that's precipitation, right? On that one there. So the horizontal axis, and then click on here for left vertical. Your title for left vertical has to show both. Okay, because we're sharing a scale between temperature and precipitation. So you'll just write temperature, and then the units. Okay, so degrees Celsius, and precipitation. Whoop, gotta spell it right. In millimeters. Okay, and I think I put in the minor ones at 2 just to give it a few more lines there. Yeah, and then, I mean, if you want to change anything else, I mean, you can change colors and things like that, but really, this is what we need it to look like. Okay, so you can insert it, and there you have it. And then same as before, you can insert that into your Google Doc, okay, as one of your climatograms. Everybody with me there? Okay, now, how long did that take me? Like 2 minutes, right? And that was with me explaining the whole thing. Now, granted, I already had the data entered. Okay, so let's say, like, really realistically, to make one climatogram should not take more than 5 minutes. All right, so it's going to save you quite a bit of time. All right, everybody with me on that? Know what we're doing? Okay, let's get to it. Okay, just listen up here, guys. Question just came up here. So I've got this spreadsheet that's just called Climatograms, right? And my first one here was Lego City. If I want to do another city, do I have to open up a whole new file? No, just go down here to the plus button and add another sheet. Okay, and you can label them. Okay, like if I double click here, I can label that sheet Lego City. Right? And then I'll know when I want to get to all my climatograms which tab to click down below. Okay, and I'll have all of my cities in there in one file as opposed to having 5 or 6 different spreadsheet files. All right. Now, remember, guys, there was a question here as well. It's a good question in regards to the analysis part here. Okay, so you're going to make climate graphs for the cities on the back. Okay, for those 15 cities. You and your group are going to group those based on the shape of the climate graphs. Where are their lines and things like that. Then you look them up in an atlas, decide, do they still fit? What should we name these groups? Then, for question number 2, you do not need to make climate graphs for these cities. Right? All you have to do is look them up in the atlas and say, okay, based on where they are, these factors would probably be most important for their climate. Therefore, they should go in this group with these cities that are affected by the same factors. Okay? Everyone follow? So if I'm looking at these here and we pick one that we know, like Okotoks, okay? I mean, common sense-wise, Okotoks should probably go with Medicine Hat, okay, and Calgary and cities like that. Agreed? Because we're all affected by similar climate factors. That's what we're looking for. All right? I'm not looking for climate graphs for these. If you want to look up climate graphs for these on the internet, go right ahead. It could be helpful for you. I'm not saying don't do it. Okay? I'm just saying don't make them yourself. Okay? Everyone follow. Okay. Also, guys, if you've decided not to use that horrible looking chart on the back of your sheet and you've decided to go to that link I gave you, okay, it doesn't always look exactly like this. The things you're looking for, okay, are daily average for temperature, and you're looking for just precipitation, because this number, precipitation, is a combination of rain and snow. Okay, we want the total precipitation, rain and snow. Okay, so that's what we're looking for there. Everyone follow me there? Okay, so I mean, in case it's arranged differently, because Ali just showed me the city she called up and it's arranged differently than this picture is, that's fine. Okay, sometimes they have more information or less information depending on the weather station that works for that area. Okay, so you're looking for anything that says daily average for temperature and then precipitation in millimeters, that's like the total. Okay, do not use anything that says extreme, okay, because that's essentially the record. Okay, either high or low temperature or precipitation for that particular day. Okay, so if you were, looking on there, you might see that the extreme was, for January, 45 centimeters. Well, okay, obviously that's not the average. Yep. Okay, question for you guys. Is it possible that you may have a climate group that has only one city in it? It is. Okay, you may have one city or maybe even 2 cities that really just don't seem to fit the bill, okay, to go with anybody else. If that's the case, that's fine. Put them in their own group. Okay, there's nothing wrong with having a loner out there. Okay, we want to separate these so that they don't share an axis. Okay, because right now both the temperature and the precipitation are sharing the left vertical axis. Okay, so if we go, when you're building this and you're in here and you've got all your editing options, okay, if you go to series, okay, we've got precipitation in millimeters, okay, then we go to temperature in degrees Celsius. If we go down here, it says it's on the left axis, but we can make that go over to the right axis. Nice find, Philip. Okay, so now they'll look even better. Okay, and they'll be much more to scale with each other, okay, based on that. All right, so there you go. That's the way to really make it work.